The Punisher issue 15 sees the UN disguised Hydra soldiers ready themselves as Ghost Rider speeds towards their barricade. At Fisk Tower, Zemo's Thunderbolts wonder if they should do something about Frank, but Zemo is preoccupied. Moonstone thinks that they are in the tower hiding because last time Frank almost killed them. Zemo is well aware, which is why he has an army to deal with Frank. Wilson arrives, saying Punisher has resurfaced alive and Zemo should assemble his team and go and kill him. And should the Baron let anyone know that he's under the Citizen V costume, Wilson will beat him to death. Zemo has no idea where he's headed, and Wilson says he's coming to the tower and he's not alone. The UN teams meanwhile are besieged by Moon Knight, Night Thrasher, Black Widow and Rachel, whom the soldiers think is Punisher. The real Punisher, however, arrives, blasting the men with a flamethrower. As Rachel goes to put them down with her shotgun, Frank tells her to let the men burn. 9 blocks south, Zemo in his disguise checks in at a checkpoint, learning Castle is coming, but his men won't fight. So he kills the commander, wondering if this is all Hydra has to offer now. Zemo rallies the troops, saying for too long the Punisher has besmirched the name Hydra, but that won't happen anymore as they will all put their lives on the line to make sure they win the day. South of Fisk Tower, Frank and his team are cutting their way through the soldiers, with Frank noting that there is only 307 of the 400 soldiers left. Zemo and his tank soon arrive and the team takes off, but Frank stands his ground, forcing Rachel to remind him the rules of engagement. Frank blasts the soldiers away from the tank and confronts Zemo and the Thunderbolts as Frank's team returns to aid him, knowing that Frank knew that they'd have to go back to help. The two super teams battle it out as Frank makes his way to Zemo across the battlefield, but the Fixer gets in his way, leading to Frank to gun down the villain. Frank attacks Zemo, getting shot in the arm as he tackles the villain off the tank. Zemo tries to stab him with his sword, but Frank grabs the blade as Zemo says it's fitting that it's come down to see which one of them is stronger. Jigsaw kicks Frank off Zemo, but the villain tells Billy that he wants him to himself. Before Zemo can kill Frank, however, Rachel arrives, protecting Frank from a hail of bullets. Zemo demands that no one interfere with his and Frank's battle, but the other teams continue to battle between him and Frank. In the chaos, Zemo manages to capture Rachel, taking her hostage and escaping with her back to Fisk Tower, telling Frank that when he comes for him, he better come alone. The Punisher issue 15 was another really fun, action-packed and violent issue as we head into the finale of Matthew Rosenberg's time with the Punisher. It's always fun seeing Frank working with others and how he has to kind of bend his rules a little bit, but then also the heroes or whoever he's working to have to bend theirs a little bit as well. And here is no different. It's good to see them all sort of getting together and fighting off Hydra. Frank is relentless this issue, and I love how his mind is set on one thing and one thing only, killing Zemo, and nothing will get in his way, and it's absolutely awesome to see. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.